What's going on, guys? So I decided to do a video tonight, hashtag Team No Sleep. And I want to draw your attention to a video. What up, Team Mix? What you doing on this early in the morning? But I want to draw you guys' attention to a video that was recently put in our WhatsApp group from Mr. Miles. And Mr. Miles asked myself and Howard a question about this video. Now, I'm not trying to go after the creator of the video. I just want to point out some things that this creator has said in this video. So, this is the creator, okay? And he's making a video telling US veterans they can get a free trip to the Dominican Republic. Okay. All right. So, this is the video. I'm not trying to promote this guy in any way. He has far more subscribers than I have, but I just want to simply point out that the information that he basically describes in this video is totally false. Okay. FMP is not going to pay for you a trip to go anywhere. That is not true. And the other problem is Google Chrome, not Gemini, not ChatGPT, not Copilot, not any of those are going to put information that Google Chrome's AI will put out there for the general public. In other words, Google Chrome lies to the general public about what FMP is. It lies about what the private clinics are because no other chatbot does this. Not even Gemini, which is part of Google Chrome, says these things. It's only Google Chrome that does this. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to go to Google Chrome. I'm going to ask this specific question, okay? Watch this. Does the U.S. government, the Department of Veterans Affairs Foreign Medical Program, or the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic have partnerships with private clinics in the Dominican Republic that cater to disabled veterans? Now, let me show you the answer. And I'm going to show you how this thing lies to the general public. Now, I'm going to read you specifically what it says. It says, yes, the Foreign Medical Program covers care for service-connected disabilities in the Dominican Republic, allowing veterans to use private clinics. That's a lie. And while the U.S. Embassy helps locate providers, the VA pays for the approved care, not the embassy, specifically veteran-focused clinics. Now, it's telling you that it uses veteran-focused clinics like Veterans Care International and Veterans Foreign Medical Services cater to veterans working with FMP for treatment in places like Punta Cana. Okay, now this is the lie that Google Chrome gives to the general public. Now, look what happens when you dive deep. It'll say thinking, okay? Now watch what happens. Now it's going to correct itself because this is something people don't do. People don't dive deeper on answers that the AI model give. If it says that they're partners, people will just say, okay, well, it says they're partners, so that's good enough. That's not true because here, look what it does. The U.S. government does not have an official partnership with private clinics in the Dominican Republic in the form of a management network. Now, let me put this out here so you guys can understand and watch what this thing says because it just told you all a flat out lie. So let's get this straight. You just misled the public because the U.S. Embassy, the Foreign Medical Program, does not endorse, nor does the U.S. Embassy endorse, authorize, work with, or have any partners. Private clinics in the Dominican Republic are vendors. They have no authorization. They have no ties to the U.S. government. The only thing they do is send a bill. They cannot authorize anything. Now watch what it says. You are correct. The U.S. government entitles does not formally endorse or partners with these clinics in the legal or official authorization sense. It gives then the definition of vendors, authorization. Then it tries to defend itself and says the key distinction. So let's be clear, just so we're absolutely clear. The US government in no way has any ties to any private clinics in the Dominican Republic, nor does FMP pays for private trips or any trips that deal with service connected disabilities or pay for hotel rooms, massages, car washes, haircuts, or anything of that nature that has nothing to do with service connected disabilities. You are absolutely correct. That's what I wanted to show you all. This system lies. The first answer that Google Chrome gives you guys is a lie. The VA, just so we clear, and you can go to the VA's website, you can go to FMP's website, which they have a separate one. You can even go to the US Embassy's website in the Dominican Republic. Not one of these companies is even listed as an authorized user or a user that the embassy would authorize. Do you know why that is? That is because they are currently being investigated for fraud. As a matter of fact, FMP's website will tell you to be careful using any of these private parties because they commit fraudulent activity. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just telling you what's on the embassy's website. That's why, guys, when you are looking up something specifically on Google Chrome, just know the initial answer that it gives you is not the correct answer. You have to dive deeper. It will correct itself and then give you somewhat of a correct answer. Then you got to force it to go to the government's website, the VA's website for FMP, and the US Embassy's website. Well, it will tell you these clinics have nothing to do with the government. They don't work with the government. They're only listed as vendors. Let me tell you what vendors are, because I've been a vendor for the US government. You have no say so. You have no power. You're simply sending a bill to the government. You're listed on Treasury as a payee, nothing else. That's it. Okay? They're not partners. Google is basically using the marketing tools from these private clinics. These private clinics lie and say they are VA authorized, or they are VA partners, or they have VA approval, all of which is a lie. It is all misleading. It is all a lie. None of that is true whatsoever. Now, if you want to challenge me and say, well, no, that's not the case, contact FMP. Contact the Department of Veterans Affairs. Contact the embassy and ask them if any of these clinics are their partners. If any of these clinics have authorization. They don't give authorization because it does not exist. And those of you who have ever worked for the government, you know the government does not endorse anybody. They don't partner with anybody. They don't work with anybody, especially outside the US and a private clinic that they're investigating for fraud. You think they're going to partner with those people? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This was a lie from the jump. It has always been a lie. The proof is Panama. They just shut down a bunch of clinics in Panama for this exact same thing. Before the end of the year, they're going to shut down most of these clinics where? In the Dominican Republic. This is a fact. So anyone out there who are watching these videos, listening to these people, tell y'all all this marketing jargon about what this is and what that is, here's the truth. The Foreign Medical Program is a reimbursement program that veterans can use while living abroad. There is no specific provider you have to use. If you want to use a license, here's the other one too. Let me say this real quick. Most of these clinics do not have licensed providers. They don't. How do you know that? Because not one website lists any license, any school, anywhere these people have been to get that. Now you tell me, when you go to a doctor's website, they don't put down their PhD, their license number, and where they got it. All of these countries, especially south of the border, follow the US model. If I go to Mexico and I look up a clinic, guess what's going to be at the bottom? PhD, their license number. On all these third-party clinics, they don't list one PhD, psychiatrist, psychologist, massage therapist, no license whatsoever on any of them. Any of them. And veterans don't care because they don't ask. They just go in and get anything. Here's another one, real quick. In the United States, you have something that's called HIPAA, right? That protects your privacy. In a lot of these countries, there is nothing protecting your privacy. Everything that you tell these people is open to the public. They can take all your medical information and just put it out there. And you have no rights. None. Because a lot of veterans, when they do this abroad, don't understand that. They think they're in America. They think these clinics are the US government. They most certainly are not. This is why when you leave whatever country you're in, here in Colombia, Dominican Republic, Panama, you go see your doctor in the US, they have no idea you just got saw for x-rays, or you just had eye surgery, or they have no idea because there is no affiliation. There is no transfer of records. There is nothing that ties these services to the US government. So when you put in a claim and you say, well, I just saw this doctor and this country said I had such and such, they have no idea what you're talking about. You got to go get those records and send it to them. And you better hope that that doctor, that psychiatrist isn't already on a list that they're not going to listen to, that they're not going to take information from. See, this is the problem with a lot of this. This is why they have a proposal out there to change a lot of this. And a lot of the onus, just like with Panama, comes back on the veteran, because these veterans know what their service connected for. So if you got a bad back, but you break your arm, and these clinics write up something fraudulently that said that they worked on your arm to bill them for your broken arm, the veteran is just as liable as the clinic. Know that. When they tell you, oh, don't worry about it, I'll write it up a different way. Don't you let them do that. Don't you let them do that, because that's coming back on you. And there won't be no excuse. Well, I didn't know, I thought they was helping me out. They helping you lose your benefit. That's what they helping they do. But make no mistake, all your private information, you just gave them your full name, your full social, your full home address, whether it's in whatever country you're in or your home country back in America. They don't have to protect any of that. There's no law that says they does. They can take all your private information and do whatever they want to do with it. That's what a lot of these people do not realize. I'm not on here trying to hate or tell people what they should or should not do. And I'm sure there are probably some clinics out there that are on the up and up, just like a few of them that they found in Panama that were on the up and up. But the vast majority of them were basically scamming as much as they can out of the US government. And they had a lot of veterans there helping them. That is a fact. Google it. Not on Google Chrome, AI it, Safari it, whatever way you want to look it up. Fraud in Panama through FMP. Look it up. Look at all the people who got charged. Look at all the veterans who lost their benefits. Look at how the government had to recoup millions of dollars from these different companies that were lying about services veterans didn't even get. Those are facts, ladies and gentlemen, not innuendo, not speculation, facts. So when people get on YouTube and they tell you all this free shit and all this wonderful stuff in all these countries, what's the old saying? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Now, let me get off that and get to something else, which is Tuesday, there will not be a roll call. It will be Wednesday. Wednesday will be roll call, okay? That's because Tuesday I have physical therapy I have to go to for my back, bad back, among other things. So Tuesday will not be, because I will be out very late. I know we don't start till 9. My physical therapy session doesn't start till like 5:30. And last time I was there, I didn't get out till close to 8:15. And by the time I got back and they was doing all that stuff to my back, I just went and laid down. So No, I'm not going to even try it. So it'll be Wednesday, and hopefully Wednesday my body has recovered and I won't have any issues. So that's why it's going to be on Wednesday for anyone who's curious instead of Tuesday. So remember, it will be Wednesday roll call, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, guys. I'm sorry, Eastern Standard Time. I said Central. It's Eastern. So it is currently 2:30 in the morning here. I wasn't sleeping. My back is bothering me. Someone had left a comment on that video because I left a comment telling them, you don't even know what FMP is. You're sitting there telling people that they are authorized to do all these things. They're not authorized to do nothing. FMP is not health insurance. It's just reimbursement. So it just bothers me that people like this put misinformation out there, got people thinking this is a service that it is most certainly is not. And they are being investigated for fraud. You can simply look that up for yourself. They had a congressional hearing back in February. They approved the investigation in March, and they've been in the Dominican Republic ever since March. And there's probably 75 to 80 of these clinics that they got to go through and check each and every last one of them for fraud, the same way they did with Panama. So it's going to take time. But in the meanwhile, you got people out there endorsing stuff. They don't even know what they're talking about. No clue what they're talking about. They think they're helping veterans. You're not helping. You're not. And veterans ain't helping themselves because they don't read anything. They don't question anything. They just go. Nobody asks, okay, well, where are your credentials for being a doctor? Where can I verify that? You're a psychiatrist? Okay, where can I see your license that's registered here in this country? They don't ask no question. They just go. No idea who they talking to or what they talking about. They just go. And nobody questions it. That's a problem. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys have a great night, what's left of it. And I will see you all on Wednesday. I'm out of here. Peace.